Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on the Emmy Evolving channel without any Pisces in anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. All right. So let's get started. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I was told it hurt so much, but was so worth it. I'm already nervous. I'm always nervous. I've been nervous my whole life. This oh my gosh. I have a feeling. I know I'm not going to program this with any of my insecurities or fears. I'm just going to go ahead and get the cards ready, get my mind ready, say good morning to all of you, and leave it at that. Let's get started. As soon as I said that, hot diggity dang it, hot diggity dang it. All right. I was like, I'm going to pull from the bottom of the deck. I already know. Y'all, I think I'm psychic. I think I'm psychic is what it is. I think I'm psychic. All right. So let me just finish getting a couple more cards ready. Let's stay focused. Let's get you guys the messages you need from your soul. Oh, hey, by the way, I am the Emmy Evolving channel and our daily shenanigans. We are now on all the different podcasting platforms. Find us on Amazon Music, Spotify, Hot Radio. Okay. Look for Emmy Evolving and also look for Soul Sanctuary 23. So that way you can, like, partake in our shenanigans much more easy than having to be on YouTube. Okay. There was one more. Yeah, my deck. Y'all. All right, so let's get like 3 from here. I'm nervous because I was supposed to pull more. All right, we'll just get that, okay? We'll get that. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to get started. We are so getting started. We're getting started. All right. Okay. Let's for real get started. All right, ancestors, remembrance. I feel like this is the Marlene card because whenever it pops up, Michael totally co-signs all of the shenanigans that involve Marlene. Maybe the bitter of my unsweetened coffee will counteract the salt of my attitude and we'll have balance today. There's something that you need to remember. It's being brought to your attention by your ancestors. For some of you, the ancestor is within this lifetime. Maybe it's an aunt, uncle, mother, father, grandparent, grand aunt, grand uncle. Whatever it is, you have ancestors that are speaking to you. And they're wanting you to remember some of the things that maybe they had said to you in the past. I don't know what those things are. So wand and intention. You're going to have to begin living with intent, okay? It's not enough to just be like this fixture in your life. It's not enough. You have to be an active, willing participant. So the vibe that I'm getting is that you need to make a decision. You're not going to be able to kind of just sit there and be like, well, let's just see how it plays out. Like, no, you have to consciously decide certain things. You have to choose certain options. Um, okay. Balance. There's needing to be balance in your life. Um, So it said, like, the tree of knowledge, and there's a lot of conflicting information regarding the Garden of Eden and the tree of knowledge and the serpent's role, and, all of that stuff. All of that stuff. I think the main thing here is that for part of this message, it has to do with your personal tree of knowledge, like what you know about your life and the way things kind of played out. There are a lot of things that were obscured. There were things that were intentionally distorted and kind of like you were manipulated, bottom line. Okay, someone within your circle of trust was acting like a little bichacho, and they manipulated you. They told you a storyline that would get you to choose whatever they wanted you to choose. You and your free will were disrespected. Y'all were disrespected. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with being manipulated in that way? Like, I don't know how long ago this was, but I'm totally of the type of mindset where I don't care how long ago you disrespected me and manipulated me. When you show me you're capable of that, you're done. You're done. When you show me you're capable of plotting against me, you're done. I don't care if I um caught it before you actually had the opportunity to do it, and it's like, oh, but I didn't really actually do anything. Yeah, because you didn't get the opportunity to. When you show me what you're capable of, and what you're capable of is harmful, hurtful, intentionally towards me, you're done. Stick a fork in you and get you out my oven. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I don't care if your little indicator thing button pops up to let me know you've been properly baked. You're done. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Seriously. People like this, if they can consider it, then maybe they have it in them to actually do it to you. You know? Empaths. Hey, let me tell you some truth. Oh, the ratchet in me came out a little bit. Hey, let me tell you some truth. Okay. Let me recalibrate my bugetto. I need to speak some truth to you right now. Hmm, here's the thing. Okay. It's making my eye twitch. It's making my eye twitch. Empaths and Pisceans, we have to stop with this BS type behavior where we are so in love with the potentiality we see in people that we completely ignore the reality of who they are right then and there. That's a load of malarkey. It's a load of malarkey. Okay, you cannot keep falling in love with the potentiality of someone and completely ignoring the fact that their reality has absolutely nothing to do with the potentiality you see. There are so many people in this world who have the most beautiful potential, but they're total. Hmm, I'm trying to be more PG, and the select sentence enhancers that I would love to pepper like seasoning across my words are taken from me. They've been taken from me. Whew, I got some words that I would love to say, select few fricatives, but I'm not going to. That, ladies and gentlemen, is self control. Let me tone it down. Let me tone it down. Don't let these people into your life. Do not, I promise you, do not let these people into your life. They've already shown you what they're capable of by their plotting and planning and I wish a mother would get out of my life. I wish. Okay. Their ethos is upside down. Their logic, their logic, their thought process, their integrity, it's upside down. We have to stop making excuses for people who have no interest in facilitating our healing. You know, sometimes in order to facilitate, all you have to do is get out of my way. Okay? I'm not asking you to heal me. I'm not asking you to climb up that tower from the outside to save me. I'm not dangling my long hair out the window asking you to use it to climb up and save me from the tower. I save myself. I'm up in that tower so I can see clearly. No one is asking anyone else to save them. So when they start acting like, you need me, I saved you, you can't do it without me, that is my most favorite fuel to use for my rise. Let me say that again. That type of challenge, that type of attempt to re-trigger programs of old where I'm supposed to believe I am less than without someone else, that is my most favorite fuel to feed my phoenix as she rises. The most powerful thing about a phoenix is not that she's willing to burn. It's that she's willing to allow all the bridges that lead toxicity deep into her heart to burn right along with her. We don't need no water. Let that mother fluffer burn. Burn, mother fluffer. Burn. You know what I'm saying? You cannot call yourself a phoenix unless you're willing to lose everything. Hold on to nothing. Because what is truly for you will not burn because of you. No. These people who try and convince you that you cannot do it, unless they are present, unless they give you permission, honey. You know how many people told me that I could not be publicly visible unless they give their consent? All you did was tell me where to work. Work on that part of me that thought, even for just a moment, that I somehow needed you to approve of me existing. Baby boo, I existed before you knew I existed. That alone should tell you you don't need anyone else's permission for you to exist. You've already been verified by Creator itself. Your existence is creation approved. There is nothing that exists that was not first approved by Creator. I tell you, the dinosaurs, they got their existence past revoked. They got it revoked for one reason or another. I don't know what kind of party they had, but creation was like, nope, revoke. We need a refund. And they're no longer here. Okay. There's so many things that are no longer here. Why? Because their existence was revoked. They no longer had permission to exist. Okay. See, you've been listening to people far too much. Your creation energy has been depleted. It's been totally used up, not because you're weak, not because you're lacking, but because you splurged on things that were not worth the squeeze. Not all juices are worth the effort. You know what I'm saying? Some juices you have to squeeze, 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 and you don't get much. You don't get much out of that. All of that effort put into what? Into an aesthetic? Into an empty promise? For me personally, and I'm a little bit difficult to be with, little, lottle, same damn thing. My thing is this: I don't want to hear the promises of what you will one day do or give me. I want you to leave me in my peace as I quietly observe you showing me. Show me how you add to my life. I'm not talking about money. Mama can work for herself, okay? I can get a job and work myself. How will you further encourage my blossoms to bloom? How will you navigate the tangled mess of thorns that protect me? Those thorns exist for a reason. No, I don't need to smooth out the thorns and shave. No, no. How can you approach me in such a way that will not disrespect my existence as it is? Are you capable of loving me as I am, not cutting me down and putting me in a vase so that you can enjoy me inside your home? And this is the thing. We let people cut us down, strip away our leaves, strip away our thorns, and put us in this ornate vase and put us on this solid wood table in a beautiful home with cathedral ceilings. And for what? You still wither and die because that's not where you belong. You belong with your roots so you can continue to grow. The blossoms don't last forever, but they do carry with them the promise of new blossoms, of new growth. Don't take from me what's a promise of a new day for me. It's not enough, and it's not okay for people to try and convince you that the appropriate thing is to cut you down. No. No, no, no. We have to begin loving and appreciating ourselves as we are, because as you are right now, right here in this moment, yeah, there's probably things you want to alter about you, things you want to, kind of tweak a little bit to make you prettier, more valuable, smarter, whatever it is, whatever you're thinking. Maybe those are valid, but guess what? Even with those potentialities that you want to tap into, you're still enough right now, right here, as you are, without anything else being achieved. That was the most difficult lesson that I had to learn. It hurt so much, but it was so worth it in the end. That lesson of learning my intrinsic worth, that because I breathe, I take in truth. And all I have to do is exhale to speak that truth. There's nothing that needs to be forced. And to continue to try and shut myself up, shut myself down, because society taught us that what? Women need to be quiet, seen as a trophy and not heard. And especially me being a minority, a woman of color minority woman, like what? She's ballsy? She has some salt? Hey, baby, I'm salt water. I'm just saying. I wasn't born landlocked. I'm tropical AF. Lightly toasted all the way around, dipped in salt water. Yes. I'm never going to be docile. I'm never going to play by the rules that society tells me I need to play by, because I finally understand those rules are stacked against me. But guess what? I have so much fun kicking down those blocks. I do. I do. And it's okay for me to enjoy doing that. It's okay for me to not want to play by the rules and actually not play by those rules. It's okay for me to find my voice and use it. It's okay for me to speak my truth. It's okay for me to be me. At the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to communicate. It is okay for me to be me. Some of you have known me a very long time, and you knew me during a period of my life where I never spoke up. I let people get away with so much. And you know what? Ain't nobody hurt my feelings but me. When I gave someone permission to be disrespectful to me, to not consider how that negatively impacts me, whatever they're deciding, whatever they want, whatever they're taking, they didn't disappoint me. I disappointed myself. And this is not about victim shaming. This is not about spiritual bypassing and excusing away other people's malicious intent. It's about neutralizing the emotions so that I can see clearly. This is nothing but an opportunity for me to learn how to choose myself, my peace, my growth. Now, when someone is presented to me by my life and they challenge my sense of self, they challenge the worth that I believe I was intrinsically born with. Is that someone challenging me and now I have to fight? No. That is nothing but a reminder from soul of where I've come from, how far I've gone, and an opportunity for me to choose to not return there. Not every single invitation to a battle requires your response. But I tell you, the few invitations I receive that I actually respond to, honey, you wanted a battle, I'm bringing a war. That too is part of my truth, and it's appropriate. It's appropriate because I never misuse that option. I know myself now. It was a painful, painful journey to return back to me, but here I am, and ain't nobody taking my throne from me again. I will not give it up, and may my entire kingdom burn if you try and take it. No more apologies, you guys. Stop apologizing for existing. Stop apologizing for being profound. Why do you have to be sorry for not fitting in the boxes? When you don't fit in the boxes society creates, that's indicative of the fact that you came here as part of a team that is hell-bent on dismantling those boxes. So start locally. Start first within yourself, within your local environment, within your cities, your counties, your states, all of that. Every single one of us that joins me on these live streams, you are not the average person. Let's be very blunt with that honesty. You are not an average person. You're just not. You're here as a trailblazer of your local environment. You are here to pave the way for others to follow behind you. Not because you need followers, but because you have no fear of finding the way back home. This is a painful type of position to be in. It often feels very lonely. But guess what? When have you ever felt like you fit in anyways? Many of you resonate with me because you don't feel like you fit anywhere. You never have. Not until you came across me. That's because together we're home. Together, we amount to a fraction of a consciousness that feels like home. It's not because we're better. It's because we're more aware. And that increase in awareness, that elevation in knowing, that gnosis, that doesn't make you better than anyone else. It just makes you more able to properly, efficiently serve. Serve your purpose. Serve creation. This is not about a hierarchy based in someone else's lack of worth in comparison to you. We need to exit out of that compete and compare program. We need to make a conscious decision to allow our pain to expand us to the degree that now we understand We belong to no one because we are part of everyone. But let's not get that twisted with that really backwards type of spiritual, air quotes, air quotes, spiritual logic, where I am you, you are me. No. If we go far back enough in our energetic lineage, yes, we are one and the same. Are we supposed to be one and the same here in physical form? No, we are not. Because if we were supposed to be one and the same, we would look the same, think the same, act the same, be the same. It was not by accident that we all exist as an individuated identity. It was not by accident. Even in a field of sunflowers, not all of them are growing at the same pace. Not all of them are planted in the same exact position in that soil. They are all beautiful. They are all sunflowers. They are all part of the field and turn to each other when the sky obscures the sun. But all are individual. Some have grown in advance of others. That's okay. They're all still valid parts of that field. We're not all supposed to think the same, see the same, feel the same, be the same. We all come from the same thing, are made of the same thing, and are returning to the same thing. That omnilove, a love that transcends human perception and definition of love. But we are not all the same, not while we are in physical body. No. That whole saying of like, turn the other cheek, Matthew Evolution said something profound. I was not aware of this, but he did share, this was months ago, I still remember it. He was sharing how like that whole passage about turning the other cheek, that was misinterpreted, because in that time period, the Romans, if I remember his comment right, they did not like for the quote unquote lesser people to turn away from the Romans. They wanted you to look at them and give them that show of respect, and to turn the other cheek, to face the other way, to basically ignore them is like the utmost sign of disrespect. Like, I don't even value what you got to say. I don't know. It resonated with me because there's this part of me that exists where it's like, if I've had enough of you, the most hurtful, harmful, devastating thing I could do to you is forever withhold myself from you. I will not give you any attention. No, I will not pay in energy or focus, whatever. I don't care what you say. You want to talk bad about? Go ahead. I'm not listening. You still focused on me, but I'm not focused on you. So what's that tell you? And that's why that resonated with me. It's not that we have to allow people to be able to have the opportunity to continue to be disrespectful and this and that. And it's also not that we have to fight everyone that disrespects our sovereign existence. It's that we have to be a powerful sovereign and be able to pick and choose what we will and will not respond to. That's powerful. When you pay attention, you're paying with your time, your energy, and your focus. You can't get a refund on that. There's been times where I've watched videos on TikTok and I'm just like, I can never get that 3 minutes back. Oh, hell, I can never get that 3 minutes back. This mofo. Why did I watch that? You'll never get that time back. You just won't. Nor will you get that energy back. But here's the thing. Here's the most beautiful thing. You are a channel, a tube of energy. What goes out will be replenished. So long as you continue to exist with this lacking mindset of, I have to hold this and I have to hold that, because if I don't, then I'll have nothing. You're creating blockages. What was once liquid light, hydroplasmic frequency, becomes gelatinous. It becomes viscous and then gelatinous, and then it's now a blockage. You want to block your blessings, you keep doing that. That's fine. Keep on. Just keep doing it. You know what you're doing anyways. Just keep doing it. You want those blessings, that abundance to come in. You want that new relationship. You want a connectivity that goes much deeper than anything you've ever experienced. You got to let things flow. You got to definitely let things flow. You have to allow. Guardian in reverse. You're not allowing your guardians and guides to do their job. You're resisting your own process so much that it blocks their ability to do what they promised you they would do for you. Okay? Ooh, there's something that's going to happen in the spring. It's probably something that's going to be beautiful. There's going to be something beautiful. I'm going to trust that. And if it's not beautiful, boo, I'll make it beautiful. What? You can make anything beautiful. If you only could have seen the way I woke up this morning. Yes, wash that hair, moisturize that face, put on a little makeup, accentuate what you want accentuated. Give yourself a healthy glow. Look, you look beautiful now. You can make anything beautiful. You just have to put a little bit of effort into it. Make a few decisions, choose a few options. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Ooh, it's going to be full of passion. I'm getting nervous. Someone's exiting out of that shadow work cycle. They've been working on their shadow aspects. I assume they've been working on their shadow aspects because they're preparing to be found worthy of you. Someone's approaching you. Someone is approaching you, and you do with that info whatever you feel. Oh, power. You're in a place of power. You're being positioned within your life to begin harnessing your personal power. The truly powerful people are not powerful because of how they can dominate other people. They're not powerful because they can use their power to manipulate and strong arm others. Just like, no, that's not how it works. I'm at a point in my journey where I feel like my power comes from my softness, my ability to encourage you to join me in this place of personal power where no one will move me unless I choose to move, where I can be flexibly strong and exist just in my personal peace. Where I've learned how to discern, and I'm continuing to learn to discern, even more deeply, whether or not I need to move out of someone's way, whether they need to move out of my way, whether I need to just sit and observe. I mean, that's such a powerful place to be. And where is that place? At home, within myself. It's not some magical thing. Actually, it is very magical. Let me correct myself. We're all very magical people. We've just allowed the basic ones to invite us into a life of mediocrity. And that sounds so very condescending. Because it is. It is. I can't. I can't be bothered at this point in my life to coddle the emotions of those who disregard my need to return back to my greatness. Me returning back to my greatness has nothing to do with me saying you're not as great as me. It has nothing to do with me implying that I'm greater than you. And you see that there? That's still part of the compete compare program. I'm entering and attempting to fully exist permanently in the co-creation program, where we co-create what we want to see in this world. I don't want to see change. I want to empower myself to the degree that I become that change. And as you witness me change myself, you then are also empowered and encouraged and inspired to be the change you want. It's a domino effect. It's a domino effect. And for the smarty pants that was thinking, you're thinking out loud too loud. I heard someone thinking, yeah, but dominoes, they all just fall on each other. It's called a spiritual journey, right? How do you do this journey? Typically by walking your path. What do you think walking is? It's a type of movement. Yeah. At the basics, the base level of what walking is, it's nothing but a controlled fall. As you fall forward, you stick your leg out to catch yourself. And then you're falling forward again and you stick the other leg out to catch yourself. That's the act of walking. A controlled fall. What's wrong with people who are like-minded being able to assist you and support you as you fall back into your greatness, fall away from that fear? You understand that's a trauma response, to think that you don't have support from other people and that you don't deserve support from other people. Or even worse, this place where I lived in for most of my life, where I felt like I couldn't even ask anyone or give you the opportunity to offer, because if you did, now you're in a place of power and you can disappoint me and destroy me in that disappointment. No, I'm done with that. I'm done with that place in my life. It's okay for me to ask for help when I actually need it. It's okay for me to receive help when I actually need it. It's also okay for me to choose to do something on my own when I need to. My needs and my decisions are all valid. My experiences are valid. Everything that I say for myself also applies to you. You're a mirror of me, so when I say I'm amazing, I believe you're amazing too. When I say sometimes I lie to myself and I'm totally BSing myself about who I am, that means I know you have the potentiality to do that as well. And when I say I'm BSing myself about who I am, what do I mean by that? I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. Those moments where I tell myself, because my insecurities are triggered, I tell myself, no one wants to hear you, Emmy. Emmy, you're so full of it. No, Emmy, you don't even know if this is true. Emmy, 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 like, no, be quiet and sit down, girlfriend. You've lost sight of where you've been. Have a seat, drink some juice. You're probably experiencing some spiritual hypoglycemia and it's causing you to act out of pocket. Have some juice, raise your spiritual sugar levels, and take a dang nap, woman. Hey, sometimes I got to have that kind of conversation with myself. And when I have some of that sweetness from creation itself and my sugar levels are back where they need to be, I start thinking clearly again, like, you know what? These are just me. These things are me thinking out loud. It's not about, am I right? Am I wrong? Do I have the right and authority to speak to other people? No. Let people decide. Give them the freedom to decide what they will do with your words, whether they'll value it or they'll disregard it. Both are valid. That doesn't take away from my validity, though. Right? Okay. So we have to have these conversations with ourselves. Okay. We're not grounded. When are we ever grounded? You know what? Here's the thing. Okay. We're talking about we're plants and this and that and yada, yada, yada. We need to be in our soil. We need to yada, yada, yada. Hey, there's such a thing as an air plant. There are air plants. Okay. You can't put them in soil or they'll die. What if we're that? What if our groundedness means we exist in the air? Like, some of us just don't human very well. And I don't think we're meant to. Because really, Human behaviors, I just don't understand them. I don't understand them. I've never been able to human very well. I'm still human, but there's something about the way my brain functions that's very not human. It's just not. It's the human behavior is illogical. It's illogical to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. And maybe I just need to be okay with not understanding that, with the very real potentiality that I will never be able to properly human, just like a proper human. I'll never follow the rules. I'm probably never going to comply with anything that does not feel right to me. You can't bribe me because I don't care. But at the same time, I'm a conundrum because I care so damn much about things that other humans don't care about. Like what, Emmy? Like other people. It's not enough for me to be financially stable. I hurt when I see other people's financial instability. I give even when I don't have anything to give. I love even if I don't receive love back. I don't think I can ever human properly, and I think that quite possibly might be the most beautiful thing about me. My lack of shame for not being a proper human. It's okay. I'm not ashamed. I give even if I don't get anything in return. And no, I'm not a doormat either. I don't just give because I need to. No, no. I give when my heart tells me to. I don't when it doesn't. No, I don't have to give to everyone. But hell yes, I have to give when my heart splits open and bleeds all over me when I see you suffering. Hell yes, I'm going to give to you. No, I'm not going to share it with the world. No, I'm not going to announce it on social media just so I can get the clout of like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. Don't get that wrong. That sweetness, it's balanced with savagery. I don't need to play only one role. I'm a whole being. I'm a total, legit whole being. All my parts are valid. They are. And what I choose to do with those parts, that's what gives it the field of intent. And it's within that field of intent that we begin to polarize good and evil. This has been a very painful journey, but it has been so worth it. So worth it. How has your journey gone? What are the parts that have hurt so much? And where have those painful parts taken you? I know for many of you, you find me when you're hurting at the worst and the most you've ever hurt in your entire life. When you're finally done hurting in that way, your soul crosses our path. And then you begin to realize, oh, whoa, there's another way to be. Oh, whoa, I'm not a mess up. Oh my gosh, I'm not just a walking wound. Because you're not. Hello. You're not. You're a wounded healer. Yeah. Years ago, I had someone, petty ass someone, try and publicly attack me by posting cryptic posts that were directed at me about wounded healers. It didn't hurt my feelings. You know why? A wounded healer is the most powerful kind. Because your life is what's being used to prepare you and teach you how to heal others. And so my response was, thank you for seeing that, right? I got wounds galore, yet I'm still standing, yet I'm still loving. I mean, yes, thank you for acknowledging that. I am a wounded healer of the beautiful kind, the most beautiful kind. Why is it beautiful? Because I said so. And you won't convince me otherwise. When I see you guys walking around with your wounds, I don't think of like, oh, poor you. No, I look at you, I'm like, that's right, baby boo. That's right. Yup. Heal that. You're being prepared. A lot of people are waiting for you. They're waiting for you. Don't rush it. Really take your time to learn how you're healing yourself. Your people are waiting for you. They're waiting for their healer to arise from their ash. That's right, baby boo. Wear those scars with pride. Life tried to break you and you said, F you, bichacho. You not breaking nothing here. I got some spiritual glue. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The people who think that a cup is only valuable if it's still perfect with no chips has never obviously seen this Japanese art form where when the ceramic breaks, they fix it by using a gold type of amalgam. They use gold. So every time something breaks on that piece of ceramic, they use gold to fill it, and it becomes that much more valuable. Every part of you that breaks and fractures because of the way life and people challenging you, you're filled with that much more gold. That gold coming from that consciousness band that registers as a gold color. You know what consciousness band that is? The Christ consciousness, that Christic energy. I'm beginning to understand all these wounds that I've healed within myself, and I'm still heavily wounded. There's still so much to work on and heal. All of these wounds that have been inflicted on me, by other people. Ooh, ooh. They're evidence of messianic healing. People might call me messy. They didn't get the last part. Messianic. Messiah level healing. Am I your Messiah? No, I'm my own Messiah for myself alone. Just like you are your own Messiah for yourself alone. You are the one Creator promised would come to bring you out of your own darkness. What a beautiful visual to see myself sitting in a dark space and then to see the potentiality of me, having healed all my wounds, approaching me, this golden being, because really I'm wounded everywhere at this point. Oh, oh, for that day to come. That's what I wait for. I wait eagerly for the day where I can approach myself, having healed enough of my wounds that I just glow. It's no longer cracks that are evidence of my self-healing, but the entirety of me is golden. Ooh, oh, that's going to be amazing. That's going to be amazing. And the people who don't get it, it's not for them to get. This is my journey. This is your journey. No one needs to understand you or get you for you to have a valid existence. Guidance. That's the guidance. You're valid in whatever part of your existence you're in. Clearance. Sweep away all the caca. That's just like caca. Sweep it into the garden, let it sit there, decompose, and become the very fertilizer that will continue to grow you. See, people, I've said this for years now, the caca of life is the fertilizer. It's what grows you. But you don't just put caca on your plants. No, it has to be properly processed. It has to be allowed to ferment to reach certain temperatures internally that will render all the harmful pathogens, the bacteria that are harmful, neutral. And all that's left is the beneficial bacteria. Don't get it twisted. Don't smear caca all over yourself, thinking this is how you're going to grow yourself. You cannot rush your process. It's an entire full-fledged process that you are in. First, we have to excrete that. Then we have to let it marinate. We have to let it sit. We have to allow it to ferment and become the goodness that it's becoming. You can't rush that. You just can't. You can't rush your personal process. See, protection in reverse. Guardian and protection are in reverse. Someone is trying to convince you that you don't deserve the type of protection and love that creation willingly offers you. Why? Because there's other people lacking? I'm about to tell you a profound truth, okay? Please hear me. Other people are not lacking because you're receiving what's rightfully yours. They're lacking because they refuse to receive what's rightfully theirs. If you want to fix their lacking, show them how to receive, not how to continue to push away the very blessings that are rightfully being delivered to them. That's all you're doing. You're pushing away your blessings and teaching people how to better push away theirs. Allow yourself to receive and watch how people blossom as they witness you. What is being given to you was always earmarked just for you. You are not taking from anyone else. Please don't confuse creation for a parent on a limited budget. There's nothing wrong with a parent on a limited budget. I've been that for many years. Nothing wrong with that. But that's a very real limit that you have to work within. Creation is not limited by the confines of human budgets. Creation can give you everything and anything and be able to do that for another child of God. What's for you is for you. Stop using all of this backward logic to convince yourself not to receive. I've been a Hungarian for several lifetimes. I'm just saying. Okay. Union. So you're about to connect with someone. You're about to connect with someone who has the capacity, the willingness, and probably also promise to help you learn the lessons you need to learn on a much higher degree. Okay? So, responding, not reacting. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Responding, not reacting. This is about encouragement for you, yes, you, to pause before you put into action any words, any feelings, any of that. Pause. Just pause. Consider, what should I do here? What is this? What's going on? Is this teaching me something, or is this something that I'm being given an opportunity to put into play the things I've learned previously? Just pause. There's nothing wrong with pausing. Other humans make us feel like we have to rush to get to where they're at. There's people beyond them. There's people who exist above their level of comprehension, beyond however far they've grown. They're where they need to be. You're where you need to be. Okay? Don't let them think that you're less than because you're not where they're at. Because if that's the case, they're also less than because there are people who are far more advanced than them. I'm just saying. The truth of people who have evolved. The truth of people who have evolved beyond the basic human comprehension, they begin to realize how little we as human beings are capable of knowing in the grand scheme of things. The more that I evolve, the more I become painfully aware of how little all of us are actually aware of. The more I evolve and the more awareness of my lack of awareness I have, the less interested I am in telling other people how to live and critiquing the way they live. I'm sorry. Like, I love you, but I just don't got time to be paying attention to what you're doing and telling you that you're doing it wrong. I'm over here like, girl, what are we going to learn today? What's life going to teach us today? Like, because I mean, the last lesson was really rough. We need to be prepared for this next lesson, but we don't even know what it is, when it's going to come, you know? So maybe we should just focus. Should we just breathe? We should just breathe right now. Let's breathe. That's how my day goes. I'm really not involved in checking in on other people, seeing if they're progressing beyond. Like, boo, let's all succeed. Let's all rise. All of us together, separately. It don't matter. All of us are going to rise. I want to make sure I rise with as little injury as possible. I'm focused on that. I don't balance very well. Like in real life and energy, I don't balance very well. So I have to put more effort in balancing myself. I have to put more effort in not constricting the flow of energy that causes me to spin. And other humans who witness that would accuse me of spinning wildly and out of control. But the truth of the toy's child, that spinning top, the faster it spins, the more centered it becomes, the less it will wobble. My friend Mark told me that years ago. As response to me saying, I feel out of control. I feel messy. It's chaos. Everywhere I go is chaos. Inside myself, outside myself, it's chaos. I can't live like this. I don't want to be chaotic. I want to be controlled. I want to be quiet and peaceful. That was his response. And that one little sentiment has carried with me for many, many years. Why? Because that was a moment I realized my struggles come from me trying to exist in a way I was not designed to. I was trying to be a Stepford soul. There's nothing Stepford about me. Nothing Stepford about me. So when I realized that and I gave myself permission to just be this chaotic whirlwind of a person, life became so much easier. Life became so much more peaceful. I am living chaos. My magic is chaos. Why am I not ashamed? Because you can't neutralize chaos. It has to run its course. If you stand in its way, you will be blown over. Chaos has no apologies. It has no intent. It simply exists. And when you allow yourself to simply witness the chaos, you understand it for what it is. You don't mess with it. So now, people don't mess with me. Why? Well, unless they haven't taken the time to sit and actually observe. People know I'm chaos living and breathing. Not the malicious kind. The kind that's allowed to exist by nature itself. I am chaotic in my function, yet I manage to get everything done. Many, many things done. What's this indicative of? What, ADHD? Yes, I have raging ADHD. Why are you proud of that? Because I've come to understand that ADHD I have is not a pathology, at least not for me. It's evidence of my existence in a multidimensional way. I no longer see me as broken. At all. I've been fractured many times in life. But those fractures are where the golden light seeps through, either into me or out of me. Both are valid. The key to intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. Self-love is not what people told you it is. That self-love journey, self-healing journey is not about accepting that unless you love yourself, no one else can love you. I'm evidence of that being an absolute lie. My husband has been capable of loving me from the start, even when I could not accept that people could love me, much less me love myself. For some of us, we've never experienced healthy love. Not in childhood, not in young adulthood. How the hell are you going to know healthy boundaries and healthy love if you've never witnessed it in your environment? So please get the F out of here with that gaslighting. You cannot be loved until you first love yourself. No, for some of us, for many of us, we don't know what love is until someone has the courage to love us beyond our wounds. And no, it's not a codependency. It's a declaration of a fact that some of us don't learn how to love until we come across people who help us to learn that. It's not evidence of you being less than. Nope. We have to get rid of this mindset that unless we can have what the standardized norm is, we are less than. No. I go much deeper than the average human. I've been buried much deeper than the average human. Why don't I feel hurt by that? Why don't I feel that that's unfair? Well, honey, the tree can only rise as deep as the roots go. So it's not unfair. It's proper. If I'm going to rise to be seen by many, my roots must go deep. I cannot be shallow in my existence. It has to be deep so the winds of gossip cannot knock me down. Because I have that depth, it does not matter to me what you say about me. I've taken my time to learn myself, to love myself. There is no truth about me that exists outside of me, and you will not convince me that what you perceive to be truth about me should usurp the truth I know within me. I don't know all of me yet, but I know enough to know I am a good person. I am a loving person. I do not harm other people. I do not retaliate. I have integrity. You will never take that from me. You will never rock me from my core. I am seated inside the tree. The tree is my throne room. You will not dethrone me. You will not knock my crown off my head again. No. I am safe within myself. I have fought with myself long and hard, me being the only worthy adversary I could ever find in this life. That war is done. I'm not fighting myself anymore. That war is done. I don't need to project that war out onto other people. That war is done. The weapons laid down but not put away. Because don't get it twisted. Just because I now choose peace does not mean I'm not capable of war. There's this quote out there that you can find. It goes somewhere along the lines of like, unless you're capable of extreme violence and destruction, you're not peaceful. You're helpless. When you are capable of that level of destruction, yet you choose not to, that is a choice of peace. If you're not capable of the extreme opposite, maybe you don't even know what peace is. Maybe your definition of peace is nothing more than compliance. Compliance for the sake of civility. For me, personally, on a soul level, there's nothing civil or civilized about compromising my sovereignty. That is an act of war. One queen cannot face another queen and demand she give up her crown. That is an act of mother freaking war. Just as I would not approach you within your kingdom and demand your people worship me, I will not allow you to do the same to me. I will not allow it. Nope, nope, nope. Confusion. Growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. Ooh, that's powerful. Voice, you're here to be known, speak, and be seen. Ooh, I got goosebumps. I got angel skin. It's bumpity bumpy. Yes, wow. Spiritual teachings, like spiritual communities, they tell you, like, oh, you got to find your voice. You have to find your voice. But heaven forbid you use their voice if it goes against what they're telling you should believe. No, find your voice and use it, even if it trembles. Find your voice and use it. Speak your truth. And if people don't want to hear your truth, they can excuse themselves from your presence. Right? Right. There you go. Ooh, the Emmy Evolving channel is now available on Apple Podcasts. Card number 7, distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. Oh, those distortions, the programs from childhood, they go very deep. And it's said that if you don't address your childhood traumas, your future romantic relationships will. Yikes. Card number 42, may your body be where a harmonious balance of love, strength, light, and pleasure lives. Yes. Allowing yourself to tap into that part of you that has no apologies for being a whole person, a whole being. So, card number 13, power of attraction. You're calling things to you. You're calling people to you. You're calling opportunities to you. You're drawing it to you like magnets. There are certain things that have been put into play. These things are not going to be stopped. Some of these things for some people are reconnections. Other people, these are opportunities that were once missed. Okay. For other people, these are things that occurred in previous lives that are now being allowed to be corrected in this life. Power of attraction. Allow that attraction to be magical AF. Card number 12, every journey starts with a single step. Someone's taking the steps. They're starting. Marlene says their bags are packed. So someone is taking the steps because they it's almost a sense of like they're trying to join you on your journey. They're trying to catch up and join you where you're at within your consciousness, that level of awareness. And sovereign freedom. Marlene says sovereign freedom. This is someone who's beginning to experience a heightened level of sensitivity and awareness to the lack of sovereign freedom that they've had. They haven't had this sovereign freedom in a long time. Card number 17, what is already with you? This potentiality for connection is already with you. For some, look. See that? See that? For some, your hands are being opened so others can hold it. Card number 18, spirals of manifestation. Be careful of what you fixate on. Okay? What you fixate on is what you invite to enter your life. What does that mean? Well, if you fixate on negativity and toxicity, that's what you will draw to you. And you'll draw that to you because that's going to be the frequency that you are operating at. Okay? There was something that I posted recently, or it's going to post. It's one of the scheduled posts. You don't have to talk about, let me find it. It was profound. That's why I posted it. Here. Oh, you don't even have to talk about prosperity. You just have to stop talking about lack. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So focus on the things that you want or need right now, solutions to problems that have existed, opportunities that you wish you had, um, connections that maybe you miss, connections that you feel like you want to revisit. Okay. And don't have an attachment to how this will play out. Allow your soul to be free to bloom this in the way that it's meant to bloom. Card number 36, listening for truth. I wouldn't be surprised if after this reading, you come across something that reaffirms whatever this reading is telling you. Because although you're all hearing the same words coming out of my mouth in the same way, you're receiving it in a different way than the person next to you. Okay? We have the ability to interpret the same words that other people hear at the same time we are hearing it, but it mean a different thing for us. You will be given a second sign, a confirmation. Card number 37, focus on the light. Oh, you are someone's sunflower. You're their sunflower. Times where darkness surrounds them, dark thoughts, dark feelings, dark life. They turn to you and they have this hope. You give them a sense of hope. You're their sunflower. And they're beginning to realize their proper place in life is beside you. I don't know if that means romantic or if that's a friendship or that's soul-based connection, but during this period where they've had just really dark things, dark feelings, where they've been made to feel this way, curled up in a ball, needing to restore and replenish, you've been the sunflower in their mind. Ooh. Card number 27, receiving. They're preparing themselves to receive your truth so that they can better assimilate into your life. They're willing. They're willing to bend over backwards to be worthy of you. They're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that you see that they are worthy of being a part of your life. My ears. Oh my God, they're super like the vibrations and frequency. It feels like my brain is shaking. Card number 43, come to life. There's something about you. It makes them come to life. It makes them feel alive. It makes them feel as though there's hope. Hope for growth, hope for healing, just hope that will one day blossom, bloom into a gnosis, a sense of knowing that they can handle their life. Compassion. If this is someone from the past that is now different, like they've gone through a lot and they're just coming back just to kind of, share what they've experienced. I'm not talking about romantic things, and I'm definitely encouraging you to use discernment, okay? But for some, not all, for some, they're getting to a point where they need to kind of just rehash things with you and have conversation. They're not the same person they were when they left. Now, if you think, you're going to re-enter into a romantic relationship with someone who you once had a romance with and that crashed and burned, and now you think like, oh, well, they're back. This is our chance, to reestablish what we once had. That's gone. If you're going to try and reestablish what you once had, may I please remind you, that failed. It didn't work. It's going to fail again. However, If both of you have grown and expanded in your awareness of self, of soul, of your proper place within your life, once you expand, you can no longer retract and become the same thing you were before that moment of expansion. Look at a balloon. The moment you blow it up, when you let all that air out, it doesn't go back to its original shape and size. It's forever changed. So if you can approach whatever this is and know that both of you should have changed and therefore the outcome could potentially be different, if you can't do that, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't play with that. Don't hurt yourself. You have to make choices that come from a place of unconditional love for self. Being able to let go of the very thing that you want so much because you know it hasn't changed and it's the same dang toxic thing over again. That's profound. What's even more profound than that is when you realize that things have changed. You're both different people, but your fear of connection comes from a triggering of your old traumas. And therefore, you don't want to be accessible and available in that way because you're afraid they'll hurt you again. That's even more powerful. Take time out. Take time out to balance yourself. Allow yourself in your life to be your own celestial teacher. Allow your transformation as you travel down your sacred journey. Allow your crown space to light up with messages from soul. Allow yourself to celebrate who you are and who you've become. Allow yourself to celebrate who you are as a human being. Even if you can't human right, you deserve to exist. You have a right to exist. Now, there's a lot of dark interference that's occurring. There are people and things that will try and interfere, that will try and cause distortions in the way you see, the way you react, all of that. No, don't fall for it. Blu-ray awakening, allowing yourself to rise to higher levels of understanding and acceptance of self and soul, allowing that realignment between self and soul. Ancestral magic. A lot of amazing things are coming back to you. That includes, for some, this soul ancestor that maybe you've been separated from for some time now. Let's remove that expectation of romance. For some, this connection is necessary. Okay, you guys need to at least have a conversation or maybe have prolonged interaction. And if that naturally leads to a romance, that's one thing. But to have the expectation of a romance, no, you're going to hurt your own feelings. Grow beyond that. Okay, grow beyond that expectation. Allow yourself to be renewed. You've been in a cycle of depletion. Okay, that cycle of depletion is being cycled out. You will be reborn from your own shadow. So look, renewal is number 44. Reborn from shadow is 22. You might feel like you're halved, that you are only half of what you used to be. The half that you perceive as missing is a half that was not accurate or appropriate for you. That is a part of your identity you were told to be. That's not actually who you are. But that doesn't diminish or reduce or eliminate the very real experience of feeling like you're only half now because you lost half of yourself. You lost the half of you that wasn't actually you. Okay? So this journey hurts. Don't get me wrong. It's a very challenging, very painful journey. But it's in that pain that we have the greatest potentiality to learn, to grow, to expand our awareness, to ripen. Oh my gosh. Imagine right now you're like this extremely ripe fruit at the height of its sweetness. Like, ooh, yes. Eat of your own fruit of life. All right. Final card, card number 1, beyond death, life. Footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains. I'm calling to you. Can you hear me? Listen. Within your heart, there I speak. My voice rings true. You're urged beyond what has been. The time has come. Lay it to rest now. This ending comes as grace to free you from all that you have known. For what you have known is now too small for your soul. Bear your uncertainty with equanimity. I am certain enough for both of us. Allow me to show you the light that you are, that burns within you, blazing angel of heavenly purity. I will unveil you to yourself, undressing your ego, casting aside its layers as tender as a lover, with unwavering attention upon the sacred body of light. You shall know yourself in truth, as pure, beyond all experience, untainted, ever innocent, as a pure vessel stripped bare, ready for the divine revelation, as light, as life, as love. The soul craves variety because it leads to wholeness, and wholeness leads to divine revelation. The purpose of the soul incarnating in this world in the first place is to realize its divinity through the sacred crucible of life. The older the soul, the closer it is to the realization of divine oneness, and the more powerful its determination to shed that which would constrain complete and conscious immersion into the divine presence. So here you are, an old soul at the edge of something you have known, at the cusp of an ending and a beginning. Perhaps you're already in surrender and falling in, or perhaps you're fearful and resisting as you greet your unknown destiny. Yet this moment is happening because your own divine soul has chosen for it to be this way. Your own soul has chosen this. There is no punishment in this ending, nor is there anything to fear. It's so that love may grow. There may be pain, there may be grief and loss, there may be uncertainty and even insecurity, yet you have a heart big enough to bear such growing pains. Your heart is even big enough to receive the joy that's lying in wait for you as you stumble across her in the course of your clumsy, inspired travails into new life. You can scoop her up in your arms and spin her wildly about as she delights in your embrace, throwing her head back and laughing her vibrant, contagious laughter, filling you with exquisite ecstasy. Yes, you shall know the truth, the knowledge that the divine is with you, guiding every unfolding moment of your life journey. No matter how dark it may first appear, the divine is with you in unflinching generosity, with compassion, and with fierce passion for your blossoming into all that you are, all that you can be. So what must you do to receive this divine grace, this new life? You must be willing to face death. It may be that death has come to you in the form of a loss of a beloved one, a physical loss that takes you into the darkest despair or depths of your grieving heart. It may be death that comes to you in the ending of a financial or professional situation you once relied upon. It could also be in the sense that you don't really know who you are anymore. Old identities having shown themselves to be inadequate, inaccurate, mere ego masks too small for the great being that you are starting to suspect you may be. It might be all of that. Your death may be a choice to let go, to take a step in new direction, to move house, to end a relationship, to change career, or to step away from a religious or philosophical tradition or a group or teacher. Your death may not feel as though it's come by choice at all. It may be a sickness that leaves you feeling helpless, a relationship or other life circumstance changing when you wish with all your heart that it would not. Your transition through this death may be triggered by an inner feeling that you cannot quite pin down. Nonetheless, it powerfully propels you away from what has been and towards untapped possibilities, perhaps even towards greater confusion as you encounter life in a new way, feeling even somewhat unprepared and uncertain as to what may lie ahead of you now. How you deal with this grace, hidden though it may first appear to be under the cloak of crisis, is up to you. You have enough spiritual intelligence to shift perspective and to choose, if you wish, to rest your inner gaze upon what lies beyond the death. Gaze instead upon the new life that's calling you. When you know deep within that no matter what experiences you have had in your life, that you are untainted, you will be more easily able to trust in the love the divine has for you. You won't question your worthiness, and therefore you will trust in life more easily and more fully, no matter how much it asks of you at times. The divine is a relentless lover. It wants nothing less than your total being to be held in its embrace. Sometimes that means we will have to give up lesser loves for the greater love, the divine one that calls us to remember our true nature. You are a beautiful, blazing soul having a human experience that defies explanation and opens you up to divinity. That is what is happening in your life now. Whether the death is obvious and painful to you, or whether you are uncertain as to how it is as yet showing up in your life. Either way, there is an ending imminent and new life coming to you, with greater opportunity for your radiant soul to shine its beauty in the world. Grasp it eagerly, beloved. Now is not the time for fear or hesitation. Focus on what's becoming while honoring what is no longer to be. Ooh. Don't be afraid of letting go what has kept you tethered to a life no longer worthy of you. Don't be afraid of the loss, for what takes its place is far more profound than what you could ever think you deserve or are worthy of. Life and soul has a way of redirecting you away from the things that keep you small and confined and leading you to the things that encourage your expansion. That process is painful, it's scary, it's so much unknown. But if all you've known is limitation, is it really so bad to exist with uncertainty? Is it really so bad to allow yourself to welcome into your life the very people or opportunities or experiences that will catapult you into your proper place, centered in your throne room, sitting on your throne? For some of us, we must reconnect with a specific other because they've been holding for us the crown we took off our heads in order to play small. It's not a guarantee at romance. It's an invitation to find your royal sovereignty once again and allow yourself to exist with no fear of what may be, what might not be, and what is rightfully meant to be. We have no guarantees in the way life will play out, and I think that's beautiful because it positions you in such a way that there are no limits. When we live in a state of needing guarantees, we live in a state where we want life and other people to tell us what our limits are. I refuse. Tell me nothing, just listen. Allow my heart to sing to you and soothe all your fears. I have no fear of what direction I'm headed because everywhere is now my home. It's a beautiful way to exist. It's a beautiful sense of freedom. Is it so bad to be that free? That nothing, not relationship, not physical structure, is more home to you than you? Allow the people who are the mirrors in your life to stand before you so you can get a very clear sense of what home is for you. Something that exists inside you, and it's waiting for you to come back. Come back home to yourself. Come back home to your truth. Figure out who you are right now with a knowing and acceptance. You will shift, and with every shift, you will become a different person. And with every incarnation of you within this specific lifetime, you will become positioned to better see what home is and to better understand what direction your soul is guiding you towards. With that, I gotta get going. If you guys could please give this video a thumbs up If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me when I'm live. If you're listening to me via podcast, please follow, save. I don't know how podcasts work, but come back often. I'm live every morning, usually between 7:30 or 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Tuesdays, I come live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to do my Soul Sanctuary podcast. I'm very excited about life, about where my life will take me within myself, within my journey of understanding myself. And I'm very excited to share more of me with you. The parts of me that I was once afraid to share. No more. Even if I'm afraid, I'll do it. I'll share. Not because I'm being forced to, but because I deserve to unravel the beauty that's been so confined within me. And I hope that as you witness me doing this, as you witness me organically just unraveling, that you too will be inspired to take down the braids and let your hair free. Allow your power to be wild. Let it blow in the wind. Inhale the beautiful essence of you. From the deepest depths of my heart's ocean,